On today's JMO, Josh and Joe, we have the, fifth week of college? Sixth? Fifth week.
Sixth, fifth.
Whatever.
One of them.
I do want to apologize for last week. We had a couple of things come up, extracurricular activities that we had to tend to, so we were unable to record last week. We apologize. We hope we will make it up to you this week. With that being said, we start off with a little college football. Joe and I were not happy with football this week.
Louisiana sports were on a bit of a down this week.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. So we go through the LSU Ole Miss game for sure. Then we have our college football slate. After that, we move on to a nice little appetizer for the NBA season. We have a trade to talk about. Damian Lillard out of Portland. The Milwaukee Bucks get a nice little present there.
A little shakeup in the NBA landscape just right before preseason.
Right before preseason. It's great. We analyze that trade. Then we move on. A little NFL talk. Again, not fun for Louisiana fans in general.
Nope.
The Saints are they're in some trouble offensively. They don't look great.
Yeah, it's a big no dat.
Yeah, no dat. We got our NFL slate. We got to talk about some Toy Story. Little Toy Story action. That was fun. The Falcons lost. Then we go into a bunch of the games. Then we end off with a little bit of MLB. Postseason just started, and then the Ryder Cup. Fuck Europe.
Alrighty, let's rock and roll.
Welcome to JMO, Josh and Joe. It is Tuesday, October 3rd. Officially spooky season, Joe.
Ooh, spooky scary.
Officially spooky season. And if you're a Louisiana football fan, you didn't have a good weekend.
It was not good. Therefore, I did not consider this a good weekend of football.
It was a bad weekend of football.
It was a bad weekend of football.
It sucked.
No good games at all.
All bad games. Actually, the only good game was the Atlanta Falcons lost.
Okay. Yep.
That was the only that was a good takeaway from this weekend for me. It was frustrating all around. The LSU game sucked. The Saints game sucked. We'll dive into it. College football has been pretty good, but the NFL's been weird, man. It's just been a little weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's
they're definitely. They probably took a little bit of some insight from M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, for the NFL script. There's a lot of twists.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it all comes together epically, but just I don't know. First couple of weeks have been just a little, yeah. College football, on the other hand, though, it's been electric.
Oh yeah,
it's been fucking electric. But yeah, let's dive into it. Unfortunately, we'll start with everybody loves to see misery, so we'll start with the LSU Ole Miss game. This was just as frustrating to watch as the Saints game, but for the opposite reason.
Yes. Whereas there was a lackluster of offense for the Saints, where there was just absolutely no defense for the Ole Miss LSU game.
If we could just get all of them to jump into each other and morph into one team, we'd have Super Bowl and national championship teams.
Oh yeah, right?
Easily. Dude, I hate Lane Kiffin's face so much.
He has a punchable face.
He really does, and I want to just slam it down. All right, you know how in The Dark Knight Rises, the Joker comes in and he starts laughing, ha, ha, and asks if he wants to see a magic trick. He puts a pencil down on the table and he smashes that guy's face on it. It's kind of what I want to do to Lane Kiffin's face.
Yeah, yep.
It's just, it's a very punchable face.
He's even got Joker hair going on right now, too. He has probably not touched that in, several weeks.
Gross.
Since football season started.
Probably. That might be his, little weird ritual thing. You know how baseball players have that shit? A lot of sports players have that shit. Yeah, he probably hasn't touched it. I don't know. There was zero defense. Joe, there was 1,343 total yards between both teams. There was 14 touchdowns between both teams.
This was not a Big 12 game?
Oh, no. This is an SEC.
This was an SEC game?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Although I will say that's kind of normal not to have defense if you're an Ole Miss, you know? But
dude. And what are you doing storming the field, Ole Miss? What? That's just
a number
sad.
13 team that's already lost a game this year.
That is just really sad.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Again, like I said, I think the storming the field is getting way out of hand.
It is.
And I blame the NCAA. I blame the NCAA because they told us not to do it. So what the fuck you think we're going to do? You're the fucking reason for it.
Yep.
And low key, I think the NCAA kind of wanted them to storm the field more.
Maybe.
In a weird way, it's like, yeah, we get better ratings when people storm the field. So we're going to tell you not to do it, knowing that human nature just basically dictates that we do what we don't want to do, what we're told not to do.
Yeah. And like, come on, Ole Miss. Like, I expect better standards from you. Like, if this was a Vanderbilt or a Missouri or somebody, you know, doesn't win a lot, I'll actually, I shouldn't say that about Missouri because they're actually 5-0, but
they are 5-0.
But you know, a typically bad program, let's say Vandy. You know, if Vandy had a win like this, that would be a different story. I'd be like, okay, they stormed the field. Yeah, they don't do this very often with any top 25 teams, so like that makes sense. But set your standards better, man. Come on, like
act like you've been there before. Act like with a little class, and like you basically put yourself to the level of Vanderbilt right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You are that happy about beating a one-loss number 13 LSU team that you stormed the field?
Yeah.
That's fucking terrible, man.
I
That's
mean,
a bad look on you.
What, they peaked? So now it's all downhill from here?
It's all downhill. That's what it seems like.
Yep, peaked too soon.
Fuck, man. It's so bad. Stop. Oh, it's just Yeah, I'm lashing out a little bit, but still, it's not our point stands.
Mm-hmm.
Our point stands. We have to do something with the defense. We have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Our secondary is trash. Our secondary is very trash. It got exposed. Defensive line,
it should be a strength where it's not.
It's not, yeah.
But,
like I don't want to say we're bad at defensive line, but we're just not performing to the level that I expected them to perform. So that's why I think they're bad, but they're not bad.
Well, on that note, they actually have brought in Pete Jenkins, a defensive line specialist. Basically, he's been a defensive line coach all his life. They're bringing him in for the 6th time in his career to go in LSU. This is the 6th time Pete Jenkins has been brought in as a defensive line coach.
At LSU?
At LSU.
Oh, shit. Okay, so basically whenever in Pulp Fiction they called in, what's his name, the Wolf?
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Yeah, Pete Jenkins is our Wolf.
It's our Wolf. Okay.
Yeah, we like, hey, defensive line ain't doing well. Call in the Wolf.
I'm calling the Wolf. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I feel better immediately.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was comforting to hear. Now, I will say our defensive line coach at the beginning of the year did get poached by Broncos right before the beginning of the year. So the guy that we have there now is just like somebody who's never actually coached there. So that kind of puts a little bit of perspective. But now I'm a little bit comforted that the Wolf is in.
The Wolf is in. Okay. So the guy who went to the Broncos is just trash.
He got paid way more money.
And he got thrown into probably a shit situation.
I blame Sean Payton for that.
Okay.
Sean Payton was being a dick. He would never draft LSU players because he always hated when the media pressed him on it. But then he's going to poach LSU coaches after he leaves. Fuck you.
Yeah, dude, and it's really hard. It's really hard for me to hate Sean Payton because he brought New Orleans its only Super Bowl. But I credit most of that to Drew Brees. But, like, he's just not helping himself right now.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about it during the NFL talk. But, yeah. I'm hoping. Here's the thing. We have one SEC West lost. This is how I'm going to spend zone this.
Mm-hmm.
We have only one SEC loss. It's a SEC West team. But Ole Miss already has one SEC loss, okay?
Yep.
We just need Ole Miss to lose one more time, and then we control our own destiny. This is as far as the SEC goes. Mm-hmm. And then if you get to the SEC championship and win the SEC championship game with 2 losses, there'll be consideration for the playoffs.
Well, yeah, definitely so. And I mean, because the thing is they're going to have a hard time keeping a offense like LSU's out of the playoffs.
Correct.
Because I mean, this offense it's almost comparable. It would be blasphemy to compare it exactly to 2019.
Do not say 2019.
But it's comparable as far as how explosive it is to 2019.
I don't even think it's comparable. I think it's just
it's a
close second.
It's a close
second.
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare it, but like if you're putting it in the same, like, I guess, atmosphere, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. But I do like our offense. Our offense is there. It's there. Malik Neighbors is the guy. He is him. He is him. It doesn't matter. Like, the whole stadium could know that the ball's going to Malik Neighbors. He'll still catch the ball. It's awesome. Let's see. Who do we have next week? We have Missouri. They're 5-0.
They're 5-0.
They're 5-0.
And we've got to travel to them, so we can't take them lightly.
No. I do think this is going to be our get-right game. I think we're going to stomp the shit out of Missouri.
I think Missouri.
I like Elijah Drinkwitz a lot. I think he's a good coach. There's just the talent difference between the two programs is astronomical. That's the only thing I'm riding on here.
And Missouri has to be like kicking Ole Miss for beating us in the way that it happened.
True.
Because now we're going to be way focused on trying to get, like you said, a get right game.
Yep. Instead of what Missouri was hoping for was a trap game.
A trap game, yes.
Yeah, this is no longer a trap game. This is a get-right game. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Fuck Lane Kiffin. I hate Jackson Dart. I hate all of I hate every single old piss player.
Yep.
Anyways, let's see. We'll kind of go through these next college games a little bit quickly because we got some NBA talk coming up. So
we got some NBA and a whole NFL slate.
Let's see, Utah versus Oregon State. This is a nice bounce back win for Jonathan Smith and Oregon State. They lost to Washington State last week.
Tough loss, 38-35.
Yep. It was a great game. Typical Pac-12 game. Speaking of which, I was thinking, did Pac-12 and SEC kind of switched places? Like, because Pac-12 had a decent offense, and then, I don't know, this week it's just been LSU, like the SEC just going nuts on points, and then Pac-12 actually had some pretty tight games.
Well-rounded teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. They might have actually switched jerseys, before the season. Maybe in an effort to keep the Pac-12 back together again?
Dude, what if this is like one last-ditch effort by the Pac-12 to just, like, salvage
the conference.
They've already never mind. They've already signed the deal. Anyways, yeah, good for Oregon State. They're one of the lone 2 teams that are still in the Pac-2.
Mm-hmm. Did they hold Cam Rising out too long?
I don't know,
because he actually even practiced up until this week. He practiced and was actually basically they were flirting with him coming back. But they held him out because they've been winning so far without him.
They were number 10.
Yeah. So maybe they held him one game too long.
I think they did, which is going to be detrimental, especially because they have Utah has a decent schedule coming up. They still have to play USC and all them. So they kind of needed this win. They definitely needed this win. But yeah, good for Oregon. I'm happy for the Beavers. I'm actually kind of low-key rooting for the Beavers.
Especially DJ Ungalea.
Ungalea.
He's a good comeback story.
Yeah, but he's not that good.
Yeah.
He's not that good at all.
I mean, he's not as good as he's been hyped up to be as the number 1 high school prospect coming.
I was about to say he's basically a Friday Night Lights guy. He's the high school guy, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
He's like what Johnny Manziel was to college.
The NFL, the NFL will ooze over his talent, his arm strength, and everything. But yeah, I mean, he's probably set to be a backup in the league.
Yeah, he won't be drafted till like the 4th, 5th round.
Yeah.
Let's see, USC Colorado. This was a
surprise comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's garbage time points for Colorado, but it kind of was. I mean, if you watch the game, if you like take a look back at the game, USC kind of let their foot off the gas in the second half, like easily.
Well, definitely. I mean, they had 14 points in the third quarter and 0 in the fourth quarter.
Right, and so like, I mean, what that tells me is there was second string offensive line and defensive linemen in there. Like there was the positions that like you don't really you don't really know the names very well of, like maybe like a will linebacker or a free safety, or they had like a second string, third string tight end in there. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt they had their first string in there the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point probably in the second half. I mean, because there was times, I mean, they were leading 34-7 at one time. But, hey, props to Colorado for still hanging in there and still playing hard.
I love that that's a Deion Sanders thing, and I love that from him. He did not quit.
And they scored, and they scored quick.
Mm-hmm.
They were scoring quick, except for the last drive. The last drive actually did take some clock, probably because USC probably started putting their starters back in, with it being a 2-possession ball game.
Right.
And, but yeah.
Shedeur Sanders is good. He's very good.
Oh, yeah.
It's an exciting offense to watch. USC they're just one step above everyone that they're playing. And I think they're just going to be one step above everyone in their entire season until they reach the postseason.
It's going to be, basically, we're going to have to really see when they play a defense, which honestly I think will be when they play Oregon.
Dude, we'll get to this whenever. They have Notre Dame coming up in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That'll be a good game. Washington coming up too. I don't know how. I think that's going to be a shootout. But
probably so.
Notre Dame and Oregon are going to be two really, really good tests. They're going to be great fucking games.
And yeah, because I know. I mean, Dan Lanning's background is a defensive background. He was defensive coordinator at Georgia,
right?
So he's going to have them ready on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Let's see who else. I think they have another team on their.
You talk about on their schedule.
On their schedule that has a defensive background, that was a coach with a defensive background.
I mean, you could kind of say that with Utah. Kyle Whittingham usually has a pretty good background on defense. It wasn't until kind of recently that offense has been really firing on all cylinders.
Kyle Whittingham's been there for a while. I think he's the second longest tenured head coach in college football.
I
think Kirk Ferentz might be the longest, right? Or am I? Because Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa since 1999, I think. He's been there for a while.
Yeah, I think they're tired of him.
Whittingham, yeah. Yeah. Actually, I don't have the Iowa game on here, but let's go ahead and let's talk about Kirk Ferentz. He's done.
It's one of those. It's the Batman quote. It's like you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep. And I think Kirk Ferentz is starting to become the villain. He's got his son in there as an offensive coordinator who is doing literal trash.
Yeah.
They even had like an incentive for him to score a certain amount of points, and he gets paid like a couple $100,000 or something like that. And he's put up a goose egg actually. He's put up a goose egg this year. And Iowa didn't score a single point against what was it? Penn State? I can't remember who they played. They played somebody.
Oh, they just played Penn State.
Penn State
not too long ago.
So
yeah,
I think
Penn State's not bad.
No, but you can't like that. That's one of those games you have to at least be competitive in. You can't just drop a fucking goose egg on them like that. Let's see. Yeah, yep. Penn State 0-31. Cool. Look at that. I'm pat myself on the back on that one.
Nice. Well done.
Anyways, yeah, Kirk Ferentz I think is done. That's sorry Iowa. That was a good run, but he's gone. Back to USC Colorado. Travis Hunter might be back next week. That's a good sign. That's good news. USC is going to be incredible to watch for the rest of the season. I can't fucking wait.
Well, Caleb Williams is just all around best talent.
Electric. And the Bears are going to just absolutely ruin him.
Yeah, I mean, they've already got 2 chances
Bro, like all those memes that are going around about the Bears having the top 2 picks right now is just, it's wild.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild. And the Panthers, like, they're obviously rebuilding, but they're still going to be bad. I mean, they're not a good football team. So, like, I understand they're rebuilding, but you're also helping the Bears rebuild now, too.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, you got anything else on USC Colorado?
Colorado needs to play the big noon slot all year long.
Why is that?
They should never be They should never be like prime time. All their best close games have been big noon.
All right. It's a little ironic, considering your coach is prime time.
Prime time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Florida versus Kentucky. I think this is more of a testament of how bad, a testament to Tennessee being bad.
I mean Kentucky?
No.
Or Florida?
No,
Kentucky, Tennessee.
Because Florida beat Tennessee last week, and that's where Florida got all the hype.
Okay.
Florida beat Tennessee last week. That's where they got all the hype. That's why they were ranked. And Kentucky kind of came in and was like, okay, no, you're not that good. You beat a overhyped Kentucky team with a quarterback, Joe Milton, who is actually not a very good quarterback. Like, he's athletic, but he makes so many fucking mistakes. Like, he's not I don't know do you know what year he is?
He should be around a junior or senior because if I remember correctly, he might be like a redshirt sophomore, but he transferred over from Michigan.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he sat out last year, so I'd have to imagine he's junior or possibly senior, but I would have to venture to be a junior, him to be a junior.
The wild part about this game is Kentucky had a grand total of 69 yards passing.
Oh, I know. And which is odd because they have the transfer Devin Leary that came over from NC State, who shattered passing records at NC State, and now he's 69 yards passing.
Yeah.
But that also, when you have a running back that goes 26 carries, 280 yards, and 3 touchdowns, I guess you don't have a need for it.
Fucking Ray Davis, baby.
Ray Davis.
Good Lord, the guy fucking tore up.
Yep.
That was pretty wild. 10.8. That's 11 yards a carry. 11 yards a carry. Yeah, sure, you don't have to pass the ball whenever your running back is basically running a first down every single time he touches the fucking ball.
That was a Devon A-Chain performance right there.
Yeah, that was he's killing it too, man.
Yeah.
You know who he kind of reminds me of?
Who's that?
Just the run he's going on right now. Remember Jay Ajayi?
Jay Ajayi.
For Miami. He went on the crazy, what was it, 3 or 4 week stretch where he had he averaged 2 or 3 touchdowns a week.
Yeah, brought teams to their fantasy championship.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what he's. I don't know if it's just because I picture them both in a Miami uniform and they're just going off, but yeah, that's what it makes me think of. But anyways, Ray Davis, unreal.
Kentucky quietly 5-0.
Kentucky quietly 5-0. Mertz, he didn't actually play terribly. He was 25 of 30. I don't know, they were 244 yards on 25 completions. It screams check down. It does scream check down, which I don't know if it was his fault or Billy Napier's fault. Unfortunately I wasn't able to watch the game. But I don't know, it's a decent completion percentage.
Yeah, but I don't think Mertz is going to win you a game. You're going to have a solid running game. You're going to have somebody that gets you at 75 plus yards on the ground. Somebody that's it's going to have to be an overall run game.
They had less than 70 yards total running.
Yeah. That's I don't think you're going to win with a quarterback like Mertz and not have a running game like that.
Yeah. I think this might have been Florida thought they could come out and steamroll Kentucky, and they just start off flat, and then Kentucky surprised them. Because Mark Stoops is a decent coach. I like him as a coach. He's never gonna have the talent at Kentucky that he's gonna need to win an SEC championship game. I think his best bet was Will Levis last year.
Yeah, and Will Levis already played all right, but I thought they would have a good decent team with Devin Leary, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. Dude, KJ Jefferson sucks. Like, I know he had a lot of hype, and I know, like, this is kind of old news, but I think KJ Jefferson sucks. I'm tired of blaming the rest of the Arkansas team.
Yeah, but, I mean, the offensive line is atrocious.
It is atrocious,
I mean,
but...
what was it? A&M defensive front forced 15 plays for a loss, and they had 56 plays total.
Didn't
Arkansas
they have, like, 7 sacks on them or something?
Yeah, so, like, I don't know if that all can be contributed, but... Also, I think we also set the standard for Arkansas really, really high. Maybe Sam Pittman peaked too soon when he had that 1 year that just surprised all of us. Yeah, maybe they weren't there yet. They just had all the pieces just come together and just had himself a good year.
Yeah, because I mean, this was funny. I love how when I use Yahoo Sports and I look at the stats. And I see somebody like KJ Jefferson have 18 rushes for -3 yards.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean, but it obviously it includes the sacks. But I just love seeing that stat. 18 rushes, -3 yards.
You just never went anywhere.
Like -0.2 yards per carry. Yeah. So I honestly, this is kind of a Sam Pittman thing because I think you gotta see that your offensive line's getting blown over and start doing some type of screen plays, like some quick slants, just do something to help your offense out a little bit.
Be creative.
Yeah, because what you're doing is not working. It seems like he's just trying to beat a dead horse. On the other side, Max Johnson didn't play terribly. Max Johnson had 57 rush yards on 9 attempts. He can move.
Yeah, we knew that. We saw him at LSU. He's got some sneaky legs.
He's not going to win you a game, but he's going to keep you in the game. And if you can just have enough, Moss running for 107 yards, maybe give him a little help, he'll win A&M some games. Now I don't want A&M to keep winning games.
Yeah,
I kind of like Max Johnson. I'm a little partial to Max Johnson.
I'm still not a big fan. I don't know. I think they've just been kind of fortunate on the teams that they played so far. I still want to see them in some real competition.
It's a bad look when your name is Rocket Sanders and you have 11 carries for 34 yards. You can't, it's an awesome name when you're rushing for 156 yards on 12 carries with 3 tutties. But when you have 11 carries, 34 yards, it's a tough look. You can't be the Rocket Sanders doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It's not good. So yeah, A&M whoops up on Arkansas. You got anything else on that?
Nope.
All right, Tulane UAB. Tulane took care of business. Slow start, but I mean the better team comes out in the second half. The only thing I had with this game was I think they shouldn't have let UAB score as many points as they did. But again, hey, it's UAB. It's hard to get up for them. They came in, took care of business.
Well, UAB is coached by Trent Dilfer, and which is a pretty good coach. But did you see his reaction to the assistant on the sideline?
No,
he went off.
Trent Dilfer went off on his assistant?
Yes. It's something, if you haven't seen it, definitely go look it up. He went fucking off. And
really?
It was, yeah.
Huh.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall in that conversation. But, yeah. Trent Dilfer is a good coach. Yeah, UAB is actually usually pretty competitive with him. This is just kind of a down year for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Tulane definitely won it on the ground. Mekhi Hughes, 22 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, Mekhi Hughes had a good game. I like him. I'm looking up the the video.
Trent Dilfer goes off on his assistant.
Yeah. The Tulane can win out the rest of their schedule. They have a bye week and then they have Memphis. I think that's going to be their biggest challenge. And oh, dude, he is laying into him. Yeah. Holy shit.
He's going straight off.
Bro, he is livid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still going.
Yeah. He keeps going.
He's still going. He's not stopping.
Yeah. Like I said, would love to be like a fly on the wall in that conversation to see what he's talking about.
Oh, we got to get him mic'd up.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer has to be mic'd up every game.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, that is intense. That's like a Nick Saban bitching.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Saban bitching.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so I really do think Tulane can go 11-1. I was looking at their schedule. They have cupcake teams. It's cupcake teams, except for I think it was Memphis. Memphis was the only one I saw that was.
So are we saying Tulane maybe another New Year's Six bowl?
Maybe a Cincinnati. Sneak into the playoffs. Maybe.
I think Cincinnati ruined that for them.
Yeah, because
Cincinnati kind of ruined that.
Yeah, because they have a bye week. Memphis, North Texas, North Texas, at Rice, at East Carolina, Tulsa, at Florida Atlantic, and UTSA. They should not lose another game. And at this rate, I might just become a Tulane fan because Lord, LSU is it's gonna make me die early.
Yep.
They are.
Yep.
Let's see, Georgia at Auburn or Georgia versus Auburn. Sorry.
Yeah, it was at Auburn.
It was at Auburn. That's right. I don't know if Georgia's as good as the number 1 seed should be. I think that I do think Auburn got up for this game.
Absolutely.
It's the oldest rivalry in the SEC.
Hugh Freeze he's a good coach. He's going to have a good game plan.
Right. And I think what happened was there were titties in the first quarter, and then Georgia made them go away after the first quarter. For some reason, they got rid of the titties because Carson Beck ended up figuring it out. I think he got distracted in the first quarter because there were titties out.
Well, Brock Bowers got him focused.
Yes.
Brock Bowers was able to get him, be the wing bro, be the Sam Gamgee, and get him back focused on, on the actual prize.
So the ring for Frodo is like titties for
Carson Beck. Exactly
okay.
what I'm saying.
It slowly destroys him. Got it. That's a good one. But yeah, Georgia pretty much dominated. I think the end score, it was I don't know. It was weird because Auburn started off fast, and I just don't really think they were ever in it afterwards. They scored 10 points the rest of the game, whereas Georgia had 27. After the first quarter, it was all Georgia.
Well, I mean, it was tied 20-20 at a certain point. In the fourth quarter, they had to have that last drive that ended up bringing them back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah. It's.
I wasn't able to watch this, so I'm just going based off of the highlights and stuff. But yeah, it was a thing where I think Auburn just got they got hyped up for it. It was Auburn versus number 1 team, and I promise you, Joseph, if Auburn would have won that game, they would have stormed the field.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's one of worthy of it. If you have a number 1 team
and you're unranked,
that's appropriate.
And it's again, like I said, it's the oldest rivalry in the SEC.
Yes. So basically, going by the box score here, it was 20-20 in the fourth quarter.
So it was close.
Yeah, it was a close game. Auburn put up a fight. Basically, what they did, their strategy was basically Peyton Thorne was more of a passer all year long, and then they just basically ran the Gus Malzahn offense back in the day, and he had 12 carries, 92 yards.
He just ran.
Yeah, just totally psyched Georgia out.
That's awesome. Good for Hugh Freeze.
Yeah,
that's a coaching thing.
Yeah.
Good for Hugh Freeze. But yeah, I still think Georgia's they're just not. They just don't seem to be a powerhouse number 1. I don't know, for some reason. It's just the eye test for me. I just don't think that they're a powerhouse number 1. I think there's better teams out there than Georgia. They just haven't lost.
Well, now they've gotten that. They get that Alabama treatment. So now they're automatically
standard. They're
automatically ranked number 1. And anytime Georgia wins close, the problem is going to be them.
Right. Agreed. Good segue here, because the next game I want to talk about is Texas versus Kansas, and really the only reason I want to talk about this game is because I think Texas is officially back.
They might be back. That's what I was saying.
They might be back. They are really fucking good. And Jonathan Brooks can run the fucking ball, dude. 20 carries, 217 yards, 2 tutties. And Quentin Ewers had 2 rushing touchdowns. Like he threw the ball 25-35, 325 yards and a touchdown. Like Texas might be back, and I think Lance Leipold has a decent team at Kansas.
Oh yeah,
and Texas stomped them.
Well, I'm surprised about. I mean, obviously the Texas, like the offense is going to be. It's going to be a good offense. We knew that coming in.
Steve Sarkisian's he's an offensive guru.
He's an offensive guru, but my big surprise has been the defensive play. I mean, being able to hold them to 14 points and kind of dominate the way that they have been in this schedule. That's been the big surprise because, like I said, I mean Steve Sarkisian, which can we talk about how that being a good comeback story?
Yeah,
I mean he had a national contending program at Washington. Ended up going to USC, had some problems.
In USC.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I mean he just had problems like alcoholism and just like
right.
a bunch of stuff. Went to Alabama, went through his recovery program with all of washed up coaches that he does nowadays.
Yep.
And then now just rolling at Texas.
Yeah, and they have a good one next week against Brent Venables and Oklahoma.
I was about to say
the Red River rivalry. I kind of like that it's being played in the middle of the season. I used to be a huge proponent of all the rivalries being at the end of the season, but it just fucks up the playoffs scenario so fucking much now that I'm kind of sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of cool to have these big rivalry games in the middle of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the one thing I don't understand is they have Oklahoma next week and then the bye after that. Why don't you just switch those two around?
Well, Oklahoma did it the other way around.
They did? So they had yeah. See, they should have done that. It's just like LSU and Alabama. Both of those teams always have a bye before that game. LSU has a bye before Alabama. Alabama has a bye before LSU. They put the byes in the same week. I don't know why Texas just didn't do that. You have a bye before Houston? I like Dana Holgorsen, but Houston's not that great this year.
Yeah. Maybe they were just thinking Kansas can be a bye. It's an active bye.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of was. It was 40-14. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Texas is officially back. They're good. I think Michigan should be number 1. I think Texas should be number 2, and Georgia number 3.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's get to the next game. Oregon-Stanford. I like Troy Taylor. I think he'll need more time at Stanford. He's just obviously it's his first year, but I also I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna put Oregon in the category of scary good. I'm almost there.
Okay.
I think Texas is scary good. I think Michigan's scary good. I even still think I'll put Georgia up there. I think Georgia's scary good. I'm about to put Oregon up in that category too.
Yeah, okay.
Bo Nix, at this point, you've been in college for so goddamn long. You have to be good. If you're not good at this point, then you just need to go be a car salesman.
Well, the experience of being 9 years in the league, it's really going to pay off dividends at a certain point.
It's incredible how long that man has been in college football.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take any credit away from Dan Lanning. Unbelievable coach.
Yep.
Unbelievable coach. You have a very, very experienced quarterback, talented roster. I'm almost up there. I think they're almost up there with scary good. I like Oregon. I really like Oregon this year.
The only thing I really got out of this game was I just kept thinking of throwbacks to Chip Kelly versus Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Oh, that was those were good times. Good times. Chip Kelly at Oregon, Jim Harbaugh at Stanford. Just good times. Yeah, so that's really all I had on that one. I don't know if you had anything else.
That's about it.
Okay. Notre Dame versus Duke. I think this is more of a tribute to how good of a job Mike Elko's doing at Duke.
Oh yeah,
I think that man is he's a defensive guy, and I think he's bringing a new something new to the Duke team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not taking anything away from Marcus Freeman. He did a good job this game. But normally that would never be this. That game would never be this close.
Yeah, if I'm Notre Dame, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, like, and I'm gonna say this as a PSA for every Notre Dame fan, I'm going into the hospital and getting my heart checked out because of these last 2 weeks have been just like crazy. I mean,
so close.
Both last drives that win it, basically. But yeah, big time game, big time juggernaut lacrosse matchup. But
huge.
Yeah, huge. But yeah, I love this game.
Notre Dame's defending national champions in lacrosse, huh?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then Duke's always up there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, hate to see the Leonard injury at the end.
Dude, he's like their entire offense.
Oh yeah, he's his everything. He was punter. He was a punter last game. He punt the ball.
Yeah. They let Duke crawl back into it. Like, Duke didn't have a single point in the first half. Mm-hmm. And they just, like, again, I think this is a tribute to Mike Elko. It's like, it's the same thing with Deion Sanders. Like, they just did not give up. They just, like, slowly crawled back into it. But, yeah, I mean, Notre Dame, good for y'all. They got, who do they have coming up? They have somebody coming up. They have Louisville and then the bye week and then USC. So, those will be some good games.
Yep.
Yeah, good for Duke. You got something to look forward to at Duke. Like, again, that Leonard injury sucks, but we'll see.
Hopefully he's back soon.
Yep. Tennessee versus South Carolina. Tennessee shut down Spencer Rattler. Like, everybody started talking good about Spencer Rattler, and then
well, according to Spencer Rattler, that was Tennessee's Super Bowl.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. So in his press conference, he was like, "Yeah, that was like Tennessee's Super Bowl."
Okay.
So yeah, that was just sore loser
Spencer. Yeah,
talk.
That's loser talk.
Yeah.
All right, Spencer. Good job. Buddy.
And you can't say that. You can't say that until you're in Alabama or Georgia. You can't be like South Carolina, and be like, oh yeah, they played us like it's their Super Bowl. No, they didn't. You're not that prestigious. Sorry, you're not that good.
Like, I like Shane Beamer, but he's not Nick Saban. No. I kind of liked you up until this point. But you're not Caleb Williams, so shut the fuck up. This was not Tennessee's Super Bowl.
The proper way, what he should have said was Tennessee wanted revenge from last year. That's why they played up for this one.
Right. Because Tennessee was fucking good last year. We're going to the promised land good.
And remember that game last year? It was incredible. It was an incredible game, even though Hendon Hooker got hurt during it, sadly enough. But
right. Dude, Tennessee just kept kind of pounding the ball on offense. They just kept running the ball. Which, yeah, if you find Josh Heupel found a weakness in South Carolina's defense and he just exploited it. Mm-hmm. Good for him. I mean, he knows that Joe Milton's not the most consistent quarterback. So, you got to
find ways to help him.
Yeah. So, hey, credit to Josh Heupel. I don't mind him. I don't like him very much because of what he did at LSU last year, but I don't mind him.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach. I like it. Take that back. I don't mind him. You got anything else from college football?
That's it.
All right. Let's get to the NBA trade real quick. Damian Lillard finally traded. Finally out of Portland. He's been asking for it for a while now, and
he's been going back and forth about it for a while now, I guess.
Well, he said he won't play for anyone else besides Miami. So it seems like Milwaukee got a nice little bench player.
Okay.
A little bench warmer.
All right.
He did say that. He said he won't play for according to Damian Lillard, he won't play for anyone but Miami. So I don't know how to translate that other than what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
anyway,
we'll see.
Let's go over the trade. Milwaukee gets Damian Lillard. The Suns get Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic. The Suns kind of made out on this one.
Oh yeah,
I think the Suns made out. Portland got DeAndre Ayton, Tuamani Camara, and Drew Holiday. People think that Portland got a nice little haul. I think Portland got shafted, especially now that they don't have Drew Holiday anymore.
Well, they did
get Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, but Robert Williams is hurt all the time. Malcolm Brogdon's I think he's a good role player.
Well, they officially announced that they're moving on to the Scoot Henderson era.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, they're basically wanting to put pieces around him. I'm surprised they didn't get more, like, draft collateral, trying to get from the Damian Lillard trade. That would make sense as far as a future rebuilding.
Yeah, but I also... Well, they did get a couple of draft picks for him.
Yeah, but maybe like more.
But like a 2027 ninth round draft pick probably. But like I think they just realized that draft picks don't fucking matter in the NBA.
The second round doesn't.
Second round draft picks don't matter in the NBA. But yeah, I'm not a big DeAndre Ayton guy anymore. I was all about him last year, and then he just kind of like tore me down. Like he's kind of a little whiny bitch. That's what it is. He's just a whiny bitch that has way more talent than everyone else, but won't do anything with it because he just complains all the time.
Yeah.
It sucks because I was all on the DeAndre Ayton hype train.
Well, maybe if he can kind of get a new setting, turn some things around. I mean, Scoot Henderson and DeAndre Ayton, it's not a bad little core.
We'll see. Like I said, the Suns got a haul. I love it. I think the Suns are they're going to be right back in contention. I love Nurkic. I think Nurkic is still really good. Grayson Allen, unfortunately, he can ball.
Well, the biggest thing is they actually got a bench.
Yes.
Because they realize they can't actually just win with just like a big three. You actually do need a bench.
Right. Exactly. And you know what I was thinking about? I forgot about this. This was like one of those games we play with the NFL players. Like, where's Darren Waller at nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where Chris Paul? You remember where Chris Paul is?
Chris Paul is at Golden State.
At Golden State, yeah. Because I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna fit in with Grayson Allen's gonna, he's gonna butt heads with Chris Paul. Oh wait, he's not there anymore.
He's not there anymore.
But anyways, let's get to the meat of this trade. Milwaukee gets Damian Lillard. He has the mesh. He's got a mesh with Giannis. He's got a mesh with Bobby Portis. He's got a mesh with everybody. If they do mesh, this is going to be a fucking great Miami team or Milwaukee team.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I'm actually pretty pumped. I hope they do mesh because it's going to be awesome with Boston Celtics and Milwaukee being in the East. If that's an Eastern Conference Finals matchup, that's going to be an epic one on paper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because let's be honest. Like obviously, like we'll just get to it. Boston ended up getting Drew Holiday from Portland. That's what Boston needed. They needed to replace Marcus Smart. They have Kristaps Porzingis to kind of replace Robert Williams. He's basically the white version of Robert Williams, I think. And
maybe a little bit more with a shot. He's got a little bit better shooting than
Porzingis.
Than Robert Williams?
Yeah.
Well, no, like I'm not
outside shooting. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like a jump shot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking more like around the rim because that's pretty much where Robert Williams hung out all the time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's Boston and Milwaukee in the East. I'm pumped. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a great fucking matchup. I don't know if they play during the regular season. I'm sure they do.
Oh yeah, they all do.
They have to. But that's going to be a hell of a playoff matchup if they meet.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're probably eyeing it as a Christmas matchup, but they've already released the schedule.
Yep.
That would have the NBA. Adam Silver is kicking himself for them doing that trade because he would have definitely made that a Christmas matchup.
They should take a page out of the NFL's book and flex.
Just flex them.
Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the Knicks. I think the Knicks are playing the Bucks on Christmas. I believe so. I believe that's one of the Christmas matchups. Which I don't know. I think that would be kind of good. I like the Knicks this year. I mean, I think they're gonna play with more chemistry than even they had last year. So, yeah. So it was nice. It was a nice little NBA. It got me excited for the NBA season.
Yes,
because the NBA season is gonna start here. In about a couple weeks.
Should be starting pretty soon.
A couple weeks or a
month.
At
least preseasons should be starting in the next week or two.
Right. So, it was a nice little appetizer. It was good key bump before, you actually did a fucking line of NBA.
Okay.
So, yeah. You got anything else on the trade?
That's about it.
Okay. All right, let's get through some of these NFL games. We got an NFL slate. Not a long one because like I said earlier, the NFL's a little weird this year. I think it's stupid, and sure, it might be because my team just can't score anything on offense. But I don't know. We'll get into it. Let's start with the Saints versus Bucks. This might have been the most frustrating game I've ever watched the Saints play, and this is coming from a person who watched the Saints when Aaron Brooks was on the team.
Oh.
This is a throwback. This is gonna date me, but yeah, this was back in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And those teams were bad. Those were the brown paper bag over the head.
Yeah, but at least we had like some excitement with some Joe Horn action. Some
remember Mike McKenzie?
Mike McKenzie at cornerback.
Deuce McAllister.
Dante Stallworth.
Oh, I love Dante Stallworth.
He just sounded like a Jedi. You know. I don't know what it was, but I guess the name just sounded just like a Jedi.
A Jedi
to me.
Dante Stallworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Master Stallworth.
Yep.
Yeah, again, we shouldn't have started Derek Carr. I think he's still hurt, and I think that the Bucs were not a good enough team to have to force your quarterback to come back early. I think like we could have honestly shared the snaps 50-50 with Jamison Taysom Hill.
Something like that, yeah. I would have been happy with that.
Dude, Taysom's kind of playing really well. Like, low-key playing really, really, really well. Every time he's in, it's almost like back when Sean Payton used him. It's like every time he's in, there's something really productive happening.
That's happening, yep. So, yeah, no, I agree that you could tell because, I mean, just look at, we had Alvin Kamara come back, first of all. But
I got a funny stat on him.
Well, I think I was going to say the same thing. The 13 catches and 33 yards. Like, what?
And here's the best part about that stat. His longest catch was 10 yards. So he had 12 catches for 23 yards.
Like, what?
That's wild because that in a PPR league, that's 13 points.
Oh, yeah.
That's 13 points just by the catches, and then you had 3, so that's 16 points just in the air.
Mm-hmm. But that shows, like, Derek Carr was not healthy. He was not going to – he wasn't pushing the ball. He didn't feel confident pushing the ball down the field.
Nope.
Too many checkoffs. But, you know what? The offense sucks, but my biggest things I have to blame – I blame the offensive line and the offensive coordinator. Offensive line has been atrocious.
Pete Carmichael is
And then I don't think it's getting helped by Pete Carmichael. I don't think enough criticism goes towards Pete Carmichael.
You know Dennis Allen isn't doing anything because I think he's basically handed the reins off to Pete Carmichael, and Pete Carmichael is not good.
No, he's
not doing well right now.
He's just not clever. He's not clever in his offensive attack. Like, and I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I kind of saw this when Sean Payton was out that year, 2012. Yeah. He's just not as creative of a guy. Think about it. How many screens have we thrown this year? I don't think we've thrown a screen.
Actually, you might be right. I think we might have thrown one because Kamara was back.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but maybe one.
That's true. We haven't really thrown it.
And what was Sean Payton was notorious. Now, I'm not saying you want to throw screens all the time, but really precise moments, especially when your offensive line is doing like dog shit. A nice screen can really, soften up the defense and soften up that pass rush. Otherwise, they're just getting to the quarterback in split seconds.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So it's just, and then some creativity. Like we don't even really have so much motion going on either. We don't even have too many end arounds.
It really is a bland offense.
It's a bland offense. That's what it is.
I think that might be you hit the nail on the head because I knew I was frustrated, but I didn't know why.
Why?
I mean, I knew I was frustrated at the offense, but I didn't know why I was frustrated at the offense. It's just boring.
It's a boring offense.
There's nothing there. There's nothing to be excited about.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the same fucking things over and over again.
I don't even think we've done much of a play action with Derek Carr. It's like we basically just spread everybody out and then we just kind of do our routes, which honestly, I think we have the talent to make it at least suffice on some of the games that we played previously. But if a defense has figured us out, like Todd Boyles is a good defensive-minded coach. If they figure out that we're just a bland offense, they can predict us.
Right. And honestly, we to your point, we were playing really well against Green Bay until Derek Carr went out, and they were just doing what you said. They were just running their routes.
Yes,
and like you said, we can be good at that against mediocre teams.
Yes,
you got to get creative. All right, thank you, Joe. I needed something to point my finger at, and I finally got it.
I had a lot of frustration with this game and really took a deep dive into this season. And yes, that was my therapy.
Good. I'm glad you got some therapy, because what I was trying to get therapy from didn't help me out at all. I tried to get it from my fantasy teams, and I don't even want to go there.
Oh, you can't do that.
I'm 0-4. I'm 0-4. 0-4. I haven't won a fucking game in my fantasy league, and I have legit tried every single time. You know what? Not even going to go there. Never mind. Nobody cares about my fantasy team anyways. One question I had. Why does Baker look good? Why does he actually look decent at playing quarterback right now?
Maybe he has always looked decent. We just haven't really said that he does.
No, because at the end of his career at the Browns, he was not making great plays. He was not. He
still took them to their first playoffs.
I understand that, but on his way out, he was not looking good. And I think it had to do more with the off-field issues than it did, because he was just getting roasted by the fucking media. And I think that really does have a lot of influence on a player.
Oh, yeah.
Especially one like Baker Mayfield. You remember there was a good year or two where he was in every fucking commercial.
Mm-hmm.
He was in every. He's like where Travis Kelce is right now.
Yes.
So he's in the commercials, everybody's seeing him, and then he plays bad, and now he gets roasted.
And also his personality doesn't help out sometimes. He has a feisty personality at times, and the media loves to just go off on him whenever they go bad. They do bad.
Yep. You got to be a strong motherfucker if you got a personality like that and you start playing bad.
Yes.
You basically got to keep playing good, and if you want to keep that personality up.
Yep. Because you created a target on yourself.
That is true. The Bucs aren't good. The Bucs are not good. They just they looked good because the Saints were so fucking bad.
I think the real turning point that everything went south afterwards was that fumble on the goal line. We had just got an interception to stop them. Big turning point. Just go into the half, 7-3. And then we fumbled the ball.
There was no. All right, so that interception where the guy, what's his face, got tackled and they called it on the 2-yard line. That should have been on the 20. That should have been on the 20-yard line.
Oh, that was bullshit.
That was the most bullshit call, and I blame Dennis Allen for not reviewing that.
Yes.
That's a Dennis Allen. That's a coach move, and I was screaming at the fucking TV for him to challenge it because he was forced. The safety was forced out after he passed or he made the interception. He was forced into the end zone. Yeah. That was not
and it would have been one thing if he had made progress to go that direction, but he was getting pushed back the entire time.
Yeah, the guy was ripping him into the end zone. Even the announcers were like, "This is not a good call." And I guarantee you, if we had been put out on the 20-yard line and not the fucking 2, we wouldn't have handed it to the fucking fullback that fumbled it.
Yep.
Guarantee it. We would have done something else.
Yep.
That could have been like a game changer almost.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go into the half 7-3 because we also got some momentum by stopping them by that interception.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I think that would have been game changer.
Game changer. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about the fucking Saints.
Yep.
Let's see. Lions Packers. Dude, I love the Lions defense. I love. I mean, you and I both were Dan Campbell guys, but it's nice to see a gritty fucking defense out there.
Oh yeah,
and
they play like Dan Campbell.
Exactly.
They play like Dan, and Dan Campbell didn't play a defense, but if Dan Campbell was a defender, they're playing like him.
This is what I'd imagine Dan Campbell played defense like.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, the main thing I got out of this was the Lions defense really good. The Packers aren't that great. I don't think Jordan Love's the answer, but that's still TBD. And Montgomery's a clear-cut number 1, but this is fantasy advice for all you out there. Montgomery's going to get overused, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to end up playing the second half, most of the second half of the season.
Yeah, we said that on our fantasy podcast.
Yeah,
we did say that as far as him. Hey, look,
being the clear-cut number 1.
Yeah, because Yeah, David Montgomery's definitely. I mean, they brought him in, and I think people forget that David Montgomery was actually a pretty good back at the end of his tenure at Chicago.
He was great at Chicago, I thought.
Yeah. Well, he struggled a little bit at first, but he really did come into his own, and then he just battled some injuries and such.
Right.
So, but yeah, no. Basically, what I had on this one. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Dude, he's so fucking good.
Gets a beer poured on him for doing the Lambeau leap. It makes sense.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're gonna do that in Lambeau Field, make sure you find Detroit fans.
He thought he did, but that guy stretched over. He I mean, it's also a Packers game. There's going to be those fans around.
Right. So that's kind of on Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It is. And now I'm glad. Like, obviously, fans shouldn't be like punching these guys or while they're going up there. But like getting a beer on them, that's appropriate.
See, I don't know, man. If the fans aren't allowed to jump the fence and run onto the field, if you're a player and you jump into the stands, you're kind of fair game at that point. I don't know. It just seems fair,
Okay. I see your point.
But yeah, you got anything on Lions versus Packers? Good job, Lions. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, Quay Walker got absolutely ripped by the internet on that field goal jump, field goal flag. But yeah, that was funny.
That was kind of funny. Yeah, Lions beat Packers on Thursday Night Football. Let's get to the London game, the Toy Story game. Jaguars versus Falcons. This is the only thing that made me smile about the NFL on Sunday. It was great. Not only was the Toy Story theme awesome, the Falcons lost.
Yes.
Just a couple things. Booger McFarlane was hilarious as a cartoon.
Yes.
He was hilarious as a cartoon. The Claw.
I think he probably should have been Mr. Potato Head, but that's just me.
Damn, they missed.
They got a missed on that one.
They missed on that one. Yeah, that was a big miss. Let's see. Who was the guy with him? Something Mike Carter or something like that.
Yeah.
He should have been Woody.
Or he could have been Woody.
He could have been Woody. But the Claw placing the ball down, that was
genius.
Incredible. I think what's even more genius is the Slinky being the first down marker.
That was a huge winner for me.
Yeah. The Slinky being the first down marker, that kind of made my day. That actually made my day better.
Mm-hmm.
It made my day. It started off my day great. Let's put it that way. That's what I meant. It started off my day really, really well, and then it went sour. But it's always nice to have a good start to a day, because it sets the standard. It sets the tone for the day.
Yes.
And the Slinky kind of made it for me. But I loved it. I think the NFL should do more of that.
Definitely.
Keep it going.
I mean, it's a big W for all men out there, because now they actually get to explain to their wives that this is a family event, rather than him just sitting on the TV watching football all day.
See, the kids get involved.
Getting the kids involved.
And it's good. It was a Sunday morning game, because that's when the kids are all going to be up.
Yes,
that's a kid game for sure.
They knew what they were doing.
Getting to the actual game, I think the Atlanta defense isn't terrible, but when do you think they're going to get rid of Desmond or move on from Desmond Ridder? Because he sucks.
Honestly, and it's the thing that sucks for him is that he actually doesn't need to be like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in this offense. All he needs to do, because this is a signature Arthur Smith / Titans type of offense, it's going to be very run heavy. You just need to be a game manager.
Yep.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, and honestly, this was a bad all-time bad take on my part, but Bijan Robinson's actually he's actually transitioning to the NFL really well.
Yes.
I thought he was going to need a year or two.
I thought he was going to take some time. I knew he had the talent. I knew he will be good, but same with you. I thought it was going to take some time, but I tell you what, his juke on the Toy Story version definitely made him look like he was in Madden. That was pretty dirty.
I loved when one of the Jaguars defenders had an interception. I can't remember who it was, but
Mario Williams.
Yeah, they
Marcus Williams or something
like that. But they had him running back on the cartoon, and it was just flames coming out of his feet. It was great. I loved it. But yeah. I'm happy the Falcons lost. Jaguars look pretty good. They look pretty good.
Yeah, I love how the NFL just keeps shoving the Jacksonville Jaguars in London's face. They have them again for a second week.
Well, it's the London Jaguars.
The London Jaguars?
Yeah, no, I think they're trying to put the Jacksonville Jaguars in London.
Yes, that's definitely what they're doing.
It's yeah. They had a couple of poor London cats I saw with Falcons jerseys on. I'm just like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into there. That's tough. But anyways, you got anything else on this game?
Yeah, last thing I had, the Matt Collins snapping at Desmond Ridder on the sideline was very funny. It's very funny. So Desmond Ridder obviously trying to keep morale up, keep hopes up, giving high fives to everybody, and Matt Collins was having none of it and bowed up on him. I thought he was about to punch him.
I mean, tempers flare, and like that shit's. You see it all the time between teams, teammates, but I mean, it is kind of funny to see, like, giant Matt Collins just staring down Desmond Ridder like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like,
I'm not in the fucking mood.
I'm not going to high five you.
All right, let's go to the Bills-Dolphins. The Bills are all the way back. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Josh Allen was 21-25, 320 yards and 4 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs is having fun. McDermott's doing a hell of a fucking job. I think the Bills, it took them a couple of games to start up.
Yeah. It's also just weird, just like how the Dolphins just hang 70 on somebody and then they get 48 hung on them the next week. It's interesting. That's it. Like you talk about it being a weird season.
Again, oh yeah, and I have there's plenty of games I can point to that are just in. You know what? I think the underlying cause of this weird NFL season is all the fucking injuries.
Okay.
I really do think that might be like the foundation of all the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dolphins got a little taste of their own medicine.
Yep.
They're still good. Tua's still awesome. Tyreek's still the fastest motherfucker on the planet. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Dolphins. The Bills came to fucking play.
They came to play.
They just came to fucking play. It was nice to see. It was cool. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. I love Josh Allen, so it's cool. It was nice to see him just ball out.
Yep.
But yeah, Bills are back. Bills are all the way back.
Bills are back. And so is DeMar Hamlin.
He still sucks, but he's back and alive, unless that's his double, which we don't know. Let's see. Let's get to the Bengals versus Titans. It's panic button time. I think the panic button's out. I don't know if they've hit it yet, or if they should hit it yet, but the panic button's out for the Bengals fans. Joe Burrow's he's playing hurt.
He's hurt.
He needs to be set.
Yeah,
but it's not in his DNA to sit, and I get it. But please sit Joe Burrow.
Yeah, because he's not even able to throw it to Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase is open.
He's always
fucking open.
Always fucking. Oh yeah. He's always fucking open.
He's always fucking open.
Yeah. I don't know if that means he's just having sex while he's open all the time, but he's always fucking open.
He's always fucking open.
Okay. All right. Dude, the Titans it was kind of a vintage Derrick Henry game.
Yes.
It was a nice Mike Vrabel, just ground and pound. I think we saw a stiff arm. It was nice.
We even saw a touchdown pass from him.
Derrick Henry touchdown pass.
Yes.
That was you. That's what you want to see out of a Mike Vrabel Tennessee Titans offense.
Yes, and honestly, I was afraid we wouldn't see something like that from Derrick Henry, just given his age and tenure in the league. But that was great to see.
He needed it to be October. October is when Derrick Henry comes out.
When all the defense has gotten a little bit of some wear and tear on them and start get some bruise, and then they just see this ginormous giant start coming at them. Yeah, it's Derrick Henry time.
Yep, I think it also has something to do with the weather. I think Derrick Henry likes colder weather.
Okay.
I think he's a cold weather guy.
Maybe he doesn't like cold weather, which is why he runs faster to warm himself up.
Oh, I like that.
A little twist.
Zigging while everybody's zagging. He actually hates the cold weather, so the harder he runs, the more points he scores, the faster the game ends.
The faster the game ends, and the more blood, more
blood gets circulating.
Gets circulated.
Yeah, right. The more he's running, the more blood circulating, the faster the game goes, and it's a win-win for Derrick Henry.
Yes,
got it. He actually hates
the cold.
He hates the cold. Got it. All right, cool. I'm glad we figured that out. Got anything else on Bengals versus Titans?
That's it.
All right, Steelers Texans. Real quick, I think it's time to gut the coaching staff on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm talking Mike Tomlin too.
It's another, what is it? I can't pronounce the Iowa's coach.
Kirk Ferentz?
Yes, it's another one of his situations. I have it same thing as for Mike Tomlin. This was because I thought he had to be in the hot seat, but he's also one of the longest tenure besides Bill Belichick,
John Harbaugh too,
and John Harbaugh. But it's kind of one of those things you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep. Pete Carroll's been in Seattle for a while too.
Yeah, but not as long.
Not as long, correct. Yeah. I think it is time for them to move on from Mike Tomlin. And
I like Mike Tomlin as a guy.
Yeah, he was funny. I just every time he talked, I pictured Will.i.am, and I couldn't just get it out of my head. But yeah, dude, I think the Texans got some spunk to them. I think they're a little frisky. DeMeco Ryans is proving that he is taking what beat up, bruised lemons and brand new fresh lemons he has and making some decent lemonade with them. I like the Houston Texans right now.
A telltale sign of a good coach, especially coming into a program like that, it's never about the record. It's never about, whatever they do, finish off in the year won't matter. It's about how they play.
Yep.
Because, think about it with Dan Campbell. He's got those guys rolling now. But remember how they were. They were losing so many games.
He had a shit record his first year.
Yes, but at the same time, we were like, hey, they're always in it. They're not just getting blown out like they used to. They have some fight to them. I see the same thing with the Texans right now.
Dude, C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins making that connection already.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And I just want to go ahead and just kind of toot my own horn so far. I know I'm probably going to ruin this for myself, but I did say C.J. Stroud was going to be better than Bryce Young.
You did.
I did say that, and I think I said that he was going to be the best rookie in this class. We still have yet to see with Anthony Richardson because he's been actually playing really well. But yeah, I like my take on C.J. Stroud. I was a big proponent for C.J. Stroud. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. Not bad, Houston. Not bad. Anyways, let's get the Cowboys Patriots. Has Bill Belichick checked out?
He might have. He might have at this point. He definitely showed his frustration on the sideline. It's been now it's a classic meme. Mm-hmm. With his putting his face over his or his hand over his face.
Yep. Relatable, by the way.
Yes.
when your team is doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Relatable. So, it was a get right game for the Cowboys, and I don't know if Bill Belichick has it in him to do another rebuild. I think Mac Jones was his last attempt at a rebuild, and to kind of get him back into the Tom Brady type thing. And Mac Jones is not the guy.
Has not panned out yet.
He's not it, and I think it's not in their DNA to tank. They can't tank.
No, Bill Belichick will never tank.
He can't tank. And Matthew Judon just is out now and he's about to have bicep surgery, so
yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
If you're a Patriots fan, man, you don't know this feeling. This is not a good feeling.
No.
Yeah.
Do we get the Bailey Zappi show, Zappi 2.0?
Dude, he's not good, though. We probably will because Mac Jones ain't it, so he's got to do something. But
yeah,
Bailey Zappi ain't it either. He's just Mac Jones 2.0.
Can we talk about the weird year again, the weird season? Mm-hmm. So basically, the Cowboys in each of their wins have won 108-13 in their 3 wins,
mm-hmm.
but then lose 28-16 to Josh Dobbs.
Dude, that game made no sense.
It made no sense.
I think that was one of those. If you're the Cowboys, you just throw out the tape and never think about that game again.
You can't overlook the small guys. This is the NFL. This isn't like college.
Right.
There's no cupcake games, even though there
Correct.
are bad teams.
There are bad teams, and you can almost put the Chicago Bears in that category. You can almost put the Chicago Bears in that category. But these are NFL players. These are the best of the best. It doesn't matter what you say. Mm-hmm. If you take the Chicago Bears team and put them up against, I don't know, any Texas team, any Michigan team, any Georgia team, They're going to beat them. They're going to smoke them.
Oh yeah.
Most of the Georgia team wouldn't even wouldn't even be able to start on the Chicago Bears team.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is the NFL. You're right. Can't overlook teams. But yeah, this was a get right game for the Cowboys, and they are right.
Yep.
They are right. As much as I hate to say it. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, Chiefs Jets. What the fuck, Zach Wilson? What the fuck was that? Like you look awesome, and then you threw away the game, but you still looked awesome.
You still actually you outperformed Patrick Mahomes, which no quarterback has done in Patrick Mahomes' college or NFL career.
Right. Well, somebody who outperformed him both in college and in the NFL. So Zach Wilson's the only one who outperformed him in college and in the NFL. No quarterback.
He outperformed him in college.
Yes,
as well.
So Zach Wilson outperformed him in college. I think BYU played Texas Tech. That's what I was seeing online. He outperformed Patrick Mahomes in college and in the NFL. He's the only quarterback to ever do that against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. So, which is a weird stat.
It is a weird stat.
I think, you know what? I think he thought Taylor Swift was a MILF.
Okay.
I think Zach Wilson thought Taylor Swift was a MILF, and I think that's why he played well.
Well, he's got all the Swifties believing that, Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Dude,
Yep.
there's 50,000 new NFL fans, former Swifties, that think Zach Wilson's a good quarterback.
Yep.
Oh, no, I didn't even think about that.
Yep. So.
Oh, they probably think he's so cute, too.
I know.
Oh, no, go.
Yep.
No. Oh, God.
Yep. They definitely. This was not the game that Patrick Mahomes should have had in front of the 27 million viewers that we had in this game. Most of an NFL game since the Super Bowl.
And they all think Zach Wilson's a good quarterback.
I've got an explanation for Mahomes' troubles.
Oh, no.
So Mahomes is probably just frustrated. There's probably a lot of built-up frustration because Brittany Mahomes is probably complaining about how she's not getting as much attention now that Taylor Swift's on the sideline.
That's definitely a distraction.
It's definitely a big distraction.
Yeah.
She's probably whining to him daily this entire week leading up to it. He's having none of it because he doesn't think it matters to anything in football, like the whole Swift-Kelsey situation going on.
Right.
The NFL's just using it as a cash grab.
Oh, yeah, and they were doing a great job of it.
Oh, absolutely.
27 million views.
Yes.
27 million, and I guarantee you a bunch of those were just Swifties wanting to see Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
They don't know what the fuck. I saw this fucking this picture of the girl with the jersey on it. It said Kelsey on the back, but it was spelled Kelsey.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was pretty funny though.
Goodness gracious.
But yeah, Jesus, man. Dude.
Have you seen the jersey with the Swelsey?
It's the Swelsey, yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. And then the week before was the Jason Kelsey and DeAndre Swift. Mm-hmm. It's like, you mean to tell me these two are fucking? That was pretty good. Yeah, but Mahomes is having trouble. This isn't like vintage Mahomes. Like the fact that Brock Purdy and Russell Wilson are above Patrick Mahomes in passing yards right now, it kind of blows my mind. Mm-hmm. Like, would you have ever thought that Russell Wilson and Brock Purdy would have more passing yards after Week 4 than Patrick Mahomes?
No, but at the same time, I think this shows that we sometimes take for granted, the consistency of greatness.
Yep.
It's so hard. It's good to be there's a few that can actually be great, but there's only a fewer minority of that can actually be consistently great.
Drew Brees. He was the most consistent fucking quarterback of all time. I'll say it. The motherfucker had 300-yard games every fucking game. He had 5,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
5,000-yard seasons. He was the most consistent fucking quarterback. He just, Tom Brady just won more.
We could just never get a defense.
No. You got anything else on the Chiefs Jets?
That's about it.
All right. Really, really quickly. Seahawks Giants, Monday night game. Are the Giants worse than the Bears?
Well, when you're shown on prime time sucking that bad, it could be perceived as so.
Dude, Daniel Jones Daniel Jones has a fucking attitude too. The balls on this guy to have a fucking attitude after getting paid $160 million and sucking this bad, and you're basically he's ignoring Brian Daboll.
Big balls in the wrong way.
Yeah, giving Brian Daboll the cold shoulder too.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Daniel?
That's bad big balls. That's testicular cancer. There, balls right there.
That's the South Park throwing your balls in the microwave.
Yeah.
But yeah, Giants are bad. Giants are really, really bad. Dumpster fire, I'd say.
It could be perceived as so.
Just $160 million quarterback that can't throw the ball. It's wild. Wild. You got anything else?
I think that wraps it up for me.
Okay. Really quick, MLB baseball started. The Minnesota Twins got a playoff victory for the first time in 18 years.
True.
First time since 2005. I'm not gonna lie, man. I fucking love playoff baseball. Playoff baseball. I think it's because of the disparity between the regular season and the playoffs. Like the crowd is just fired up. Like you can feel the energy. Mm-hmm. Every inning is important, you know, like every inning matters.
Yep.
And like these pitching matchups are even more important. The bullpen becomes way more of a play. Like it's different. It's different, and I love playoff baseball.
Yeah. It just seems so much more implication, so much more pressure in each of the situations. There is a difference between playoff baseball and regular season baseball.
Yeah, and you can feel it too.
Yeah, and I would say maybe the most disparity between like a playoff and a regular season than any other ones. I don't know.
There might hockey. Well, no, never mind. Yeah, you're right. There might be it is
because like the regular
season
disparity
between the regular season and the playoffs. That's true.
Because it's mostly like not that other playoffs aren't like as intense, but at the same time, I feel like the regular season isn't as intense on MLB as any other sport.
Right. You could say make a case for like the NBA, but even then, I still think it's the MLB.
Yeah.
Last thing I have is fuck Europe. They won the Ryder Cup. Fuck Europe.
Fuck Europe.
That's it. I don't want to talk about that. Anything else?
That's about it.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Later.